Hi guys, hopefully you had a great day at school and you said I understood everything and I'm so much smarter today because of it. But if not, hopefully after this video you can say that. So today we are continuing our review, and so the worksheet that I sent home with you today for homework, we are actually going to walk through the first problem in each one of these sections, and then I would like you to pause the video before I go through the problem, and I'd like you to work out that first problem in each section yourself, and then you can push play and I will work through it with you, and I just want to make sure you came up with the same answer the same way I did. So first, pause the video and do the first problem, then play the video. I will walk through it with you to make sure you got the right answer and you got it the right way. Then I want you to do the second problem in each section on your own, and that I will not give you the answer for. We're going to go over that in class the next day. So hopefully that makes sense to you. So we're going to start out. Joe bought 17 carrots and 12 potatoes. The ratios of the number of carrots to the numbers of potatoes is. And so because we're doing review right now, getting ready for our test, it's going to have a different instruction in each section, and it'll have two problems for each section. This one says write the ratios. So this is a really easy problem. We can get confused by all the wording of what's the ratio, but essentially it's just saying for every how many carrots are there how many potatoes. So we could go to the grocery store, and this grocery store says if you buy carrots, you have to buy potatoes. So we've bagged them for you already. We put 17 carrots in a bag and 12 potatoes, and you can buy as many bags as you want, but every bag will have 17 carrots and 12 potatoes. So the answer would be 17 carrots and 12 potatoes. So if you, hopefully you paused the video and did that one first, and now you can go ahead and do problem number 2 the same way on your own, and we'll go over that in class. So hopefully you can finish that right now. Excuse me. Now if you, once you pause the video to do the number 2 one, go ahead and do number 3 as well. So go ahead and pause the video and do number 3, and then you can unpause it and we'll walk through it together. Okay, so number 3 should be done. It says state whether each of the following can be expressed as a ratio. So we're just trying to see, are these the same items? Can I take this item and make it into this item? Can I do that in order to make it a ratio? So it's saying if I have feet, can I change that to inches? And we all know that that is possible because 1 foot equals 12 inches. And so if 1 foot equals 12 inches, essentially what I'm saying is I have 7 12s, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 7 times, 12 inches, 7 times. So what I'm going to do is go 12 times 7, and then I add my 15 inches. 12 times 7, if you did the math, would be 84 inches, and then we add our 15 inches for a total of 99 inches, but that's not actually what it was asking. It was just saying, can it be expressed as a ratio? We say yes. Those are both things that we can change to be one in the same thing by converting feet into inches, so yes. So go ahead and do number 4 on your own. Pause the video and do that one, and then also do number 5, and when you unpause it, we will walk through that together. Okay, you should have number 5 done now on your own, and write the missing term in each pair of equivalent ratios is what they're asking us to do. Equivalent ratios just means it's the same ratio, they have just made it into more pieces, just like a fraction. We can times to make it into, or divide to make it into a different amount of pieces. So the original ratio is 6 and 5. And so what we can do is we say this is our ratio on the right side. This is also our ratio on the right side. So what did we times 5 by to make 30? And then remember, just like fractions, whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. So if we times 5 by 6 to get 30, then we need to times 6 by 6 as well to get this answer. So 6 times 6 is 36. All right, go ahead and pause the video and do number 6 on your own and number 7. And when you come back, we'll go over number 7 together. So make sure you pause the video and do number 6 and 7. All right, we're back, and number 7 says, write each ratio in its simplest form. Simplest form just means reducing it. It can also mean just making it into smaller numbers, however it makes most sense to your brain. So 32 and 14, or 32 colon 14. It can also be 32 divided by 14, or it can be in a fraction form. All those are the same thing. So 32 and 14 we can see are both even numbers. So we know they can be divided by a common number 2. So 32 divided by 2 and 14 divided by 2, and the answer to both of those, 32 divided by 2 is 16, 14 divided by 2 is going to be 7. And 7's a prime number, meaning it can only be times by itself and 1 to make that number, so we can't reduce that anymore. So go ahead and do number 8 and 9. If you could pause the video now, and then we'll go over number 9 when we come back. Okay, we're back, and it says solve. Number 9, the ratio of the length of the width of a rectangle is 15 is the length, and 8 is the width. How many times the width of the rectangle is the length of the rectangle? So this is a really confusing way to say, how many times can I take the width and fit it into the number of the length? So essentially what we're doing is we're just dividing, because remember, every ratio can also be written right on top of each other like a fraction. You always take the first number and put it on top, and all fractions are written just like a division problem. So essentially that's what it's saying. How many times can you take the width, which is 8, and put it into the number of the length? So 8 into 15, we will just do our division problem here. The top number always goes in the shed first. 8. 8 goes into 15 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. And if we do our subtraction, whoops, that's a horrible 8, it comes out to 7, and then our remainder would be 7. So if we look at our ratio, which we can also write as a fraction, our denominator always stays the same, so it would be 8 on the bottom, and our remainder, how many was left over after 8 went into 15 one whole time? Our remainder was 7, and so we put our whole number here. So essentially this is just saying, take this ratio that can also be written as a fraction, first one always goes on top, and turn it into a mixed number, because we want to know how many whole times will the width of the rectangle go into the length. So the answer is over here, 1 7/8. So go ahead and do number 10 on your own, and also number 11, which is on the next page here, and we will go ahead and do that together when you come back. So go ahead and push pause and come back after you've done number 10 and 11. Okay, we're back, and it says solve and show your work. Please make sure you show your work on this. It's not so important that you get the answer right. It's so important that you get the process right, so you can do any problem as long as you know the process. So 11 says Alice has 60 marbles. Of the marbles, 45 of them are red and the rest of them are black. What is the ratio of the number of black marbles to the number of red marbles? Now remember, this is a story problem, so every morning when we do our entry task, on the left side of the board it's written, how do we do a story problem? And the first thing is, what info do we already have? So it tells us we have a total of 60 marbles. A total of 60 marbles, and of those marbles, 45 of them are red and the rest are black. So whatever's left over after we take 45 away from 60 will be black. Now what exactly are they asking us? What is the ratio of the number of black marbles to the number of red? Okay, well, if we take our red and we take it away from our total, which is 60, we go 60, take away 45, whatever's left over will be the black, because there's only two colors, red and black. So if 45 is red, the total is 60, we can take away the red, and what's left over is 15 black. So our answer will be 15 black, but it's asking us what is the ratio. So we can't just write 15, right? We need to figure out what is that ratio. So remember, every time we have a ratio, it's saying we have 60 take away 45 equals 15. So what would that 15 be the ratio of if it's asking us for black? So what we'd need to do is say, okay, well, there's 45 red to 15 black, and so we need to figure out that ratio if we break it down. Oh, and I'm sorry, I didn't write them in the right order because it says the red ones to the black ones, or sorry, down here on the answer it says the black ones to the number of red ones. So we need to switch those around because 45 is red. So wonderful thing about math is when you catch your mistakes, it helps you learn. So essentially, if we simplify this or reduce it, 15 can go into 15 one time and it will go into 45 three times. So here is our ratio in its simplest form. There is, for every black marble, there is 3 red marbles. So hopefully that made sense to you. If you could do number 12, and then we will do number 13 together. So go ahead and pause the video and we'll do number 13 together when you come back. Okay, number 13 is a fox, a coyote, and a wolf weigh 120 pounds. So all of them together, coyote, fox, and wolf, weigh 120 pounds is the total. The ratio of the weight of the fox to the weight of the coyote is 3/8. We're going to write that down here, and remember, we're talking about the information they're giving us. This is the fox, so we'll put an F there, to the weight of the coyote. The weight of the coyote is 32 pounds. So remember, our ratio is something not that tells us how much it is, it just tells us how much each of the comparison. If we have 3 foxes, for every 3 foxes we'll have 8 coyotes, but it doesn't tell us the total number of what each one of these are. So this is actually telling us the weight of the coyote is 32 pounds. So 8 equals 32 pounds. What is the weight of the wolf? Well, in order to figure that out, we need to figure out how many each one of these units are. For every 3 units of foxes, there's 8 units of coyotes, but the number that those 8 units equals, here is our visual way to figure this out. So we are going to divide this into 8. This is going to be our coyote, and our fox we will divide into 3. Let's make those the same size so it doesn't confuse us. So we will divide into 3. And then what I need to do is say, okay, 32, and I divide it, because my coyote's weight is 32, I divide it by my 8 units to figure out how much each unit is worth. So 32 divided by 8 is going to be 4. So each of these units would be worth 4. Which means each of the units on top will be 4 as well. So now I know my fox is 4 times 1, 2, 3 units is 12, but that's not what it was asking me. It was asking me the weight of the wolf. So I will go weight of the wolf. If my total is 120 of all 3 of these animals put together, I need to go that 32 and 3 times 4 is 12. So 32 and 12, if I add those up, sorry, hopefully this whole thing wasn't under there the whole time. So I'll just run through it real quick because I may have gone a little over, but the total was 120, fox and was 3, coyote was 8. The coyote equals 32, so our fox has 1, 2, 3 units. Our coyote has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, and those equal to 32. So I take 32 and divide them by my 8 units, which equals 4. Each unit is 4. Also, each of these units is 4, which equals 3 times 4 is 12. So now I can say 32 take away or plus 12 will give me 44. So whatever is left out of my 122, I can take my total 120, and I can put it, subtract what I already have here, and it